Are you religious or not? Are religion? You don't believe in a creator?
I don't know.
So how do you explain the existence of the universe? Do you believe that something can come from nothing?
I don't think.
Sorry?
I don't think I'm qualified to answer that question.
No, but why do you, I would say, belittle your own intellect? Why you don't think you have the capacity to answer a simple question? I think it's a simple
I
question.
do think I have the capacity. I just don't have the knowledge yet to answer it.
Do you know, let me put it this way, do you know of anything that comes from nothing? By nothing, I mean no energy, no matter, no space, no quanta, nothing. Do you know of anything that comes from nothing?
No.
Okay, so it's the answer to the question, yeah? If we do not, do you know, look, nothing itself is not something, right? Nothing is the absence of something.
Yeah.
If you have 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus infinity of zeros, would you ever have something?
But just because I don't know doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
What doesn't exist?
Anything.
But yeah, it's like I'm talking somewhere, you're talking somewhere else. What's your name? What's your name?
Zico.
Ezekiel.
Zico.
Zico.
Yeah.
Okay. Look, Zico, I'm saying, look, try to focus on what I'm saying, right? Because I'm feeling you're being a bit defensive, like you're kind of pushing away what I'm saying without even getting the point that I'm saying, right? I'm saying if you have 0 and you multiply that 0 ad infinitum, 0, if you multiply that 0 ad infinitum, we're talking mathematically, would you ever get something? Because nothingness, it doesn't matter how much you multiply it, will always remain nothingness. There is no agency, there is no power, there is no quanta, there is no space. How would you have something arising from nothingness? That's logically impossible. You get the point? So if the universe we have today has a beginning, then it's logically impossible to claim that it comes from nothing. Because nothing comes from nothing. And literally the universe is not a conscious entity, right? Space is not conscious, matter is not conscious, which means it cannot move and act by itself. It requires a cause in order for anything to happen. Would you agree with that? Don't worry about it. Agree with what I'm saying, or what do you think about what I'm saying? If you disagree, tell me why you disagree.
I personally think that just because we don't know the answer yet doesn't mean that the answer isn't there.
But I don't know the answer to what? We are just given the answer already, so we know the answer. Why do you think we don't know?
1,000 years ago, you couldn't explain the weather, but now we can. So who knows what we can explain in 1,000 years?
But you're saying 1,000 years ago we couldn't explain the weather. But what we're talking, because to me, what you're just repeating is what some people repeat today. You're talking about the physical world. What some atheist scientists repeat today, specifically Richard Dawkins and these likes of him, right? You're talking about the physical world. I'm not talking about the physical world though. You know, science is a study that is limited to the physical world. Do you know that or no?
Yeah.
Right? Science is the study of the physical world, natural world, through experimentation, repeatability, and falsification. Yeah. That's literally what science is, right? So science does not go into the realm of metaphysicals. Science cannot measure my love to someone else or my hatred to someone, right? Science cannot deal with my consciousness. That's why we have the hard problem of consciousness today in science. Because consciousness is something which isn't physical. It cannot explain my first-person subjective experience. What it is to me to feel the taste of strawberry or chocolate, what it is to you to feel strawberry and chocolate, science cannot explain that. Because it's a metaphysical experience, literally. Do you get the point? There's nothing physical in which you can put under a microscope or in a lab and it could produce results for you. So I'm talking now about a question of God which is in a metaphysical realm. So it's not talking about the weather, something is physical that you can reach an understanding of later in the future. So I believe are two separate things. So there is no link between them. I'm talking now about the metaphysical, which is something you can only learn about using your consciousness and intellect. And science has to rely on mathematics and intellect and deduction and logic, or science would not even work. Do you know that?
Yeah.
So science requires intellect and logic. So we are using intellect and logic to come to the conclusion that the creator is there, which is what we have done. We cannot have something from nothing. 0 plus infinity will always give us 0. Therefore, we need something that is always in existence to bring about other things and cause them. So when I gave the answer, you said to me, just because we don't know the answer doesn't mean we can reach it. But I'm giving you an answer already. So I don't understand why would you say that? What is illogical about the answer I'm giving?
No, not from what I know. I personally think that just because I don't know it, I'm conscious of the fact that I don't know it.
But I think
I'm willing to accept what I don't know.
But I think you just repeated what you said again, right? I'm trying to ask you that.
Because you said it's subjective, right?
What is subjective?
The connection you feel, basically, to the metaphysical space.
I didn't say that, no.
That it's your experience unique to yours, and that what I experience is unique to mine.
Oh, no, I'm saying, I'm talking about the capacity of science to explain first-person subjective experience.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying God is subjective. These are two separate things. So I'm saying science is limited there. It cannot explain the first-person subjective experience. But I'm saying that God exists whether we are here or not. So it doesn't rely on our first person subjective experience. Like for example, humans had a starting point on Earth. Do you agree? We didn't exist forever, did we? Do you agree? Do you think we exist forever? Do you think we're eternal ever living? Come on. No one says that. We don't exist forever, right? So before us there was a universe. So that is what we say God created. It's irrelevant if we exist or we don't exist. There is something that brought the universe into existence. It does not depend on our existence. So when I first talk about first person subjective experience, is irrelated to the idea of God. I'm saying in the logic I gave you that you cannot have something from nothing. Therefore, the universe requires something external for it to bring it into existence. It cannot come from nothing. It requires something to bring it into existence. Why is it illogical about that idea?
I don't know, for me it's based on the assumption that there was ever nothing.
But we're saying there was never nothing. We're saying there is always something, which is Allah. Because if there was ever nothing, we're saying there will never be something. That's what I'm saying literally. I'm saying if nothing ever existed, there will never be something because nothing will come about. But I'm saying if there is something today, then there was never nothing, which means there was something eternal. You get the point? So I'm saying whatever brought the universe into existence is something which is eternal. So far we agree that there is something brought the universe into existence and it is eternal. So these are attributes of what we call creator or God. So then we agree, yeah? Okay, so no problem.